Hello everyone, my name's Giselle, and if you've been on this channel a while, you might have seen one of my mini fantasy OCs. All of those OCs are for a fantasy story I'm working on called Little Decay, and recently I thought it would be interesting to draw those characters if they were human and in this world instead of the world they're in.
Wilda.
Okay, first of all is the leading lady, the main character, Wilda. So in Little Decay, I've explained a little bit on this channel before, but just as a brief rundown, her family was the lord and lady of a goblin village. When she was very young, like a toddler, that village got destroyed and she was taken in to be a child soldier, basically, for the kingdom that did that destroying. But in this world, I'm going to translate to her being from a rich family that ended up dying, and she became an orphan and went to an orphanage. At the present point that I'm drawing her right now, she is out of the orphanage. She became an adult. She's 18 now. And she is in university for health science, which is like PE, I think. I've never been in university for health science. I thought that made sense since she is like pretty physically strong in a story. And while at the orphanage, she met Philo, similar to in the actual story. Philo is much younger than her, but they formed like a familial connection with each other, and so I think she would kind of be trying to figure out a way to get Philo put into her care and out of, you know, the adoption system. But since she's only 18, she can't like legally adopt. I obviously don't know the complete ins and outs of that, but I know that if you're 18, you can't really do that. Yeah, at university, she meets Tula. In the actual story, there are two possible love interests. In this one, I'm gonna let Tula take the spotlight, just to give him a chance. But yeah, the clothes I gave her, I wanted them to look kind of outdated. I gave her very chunky jewelry and a very flowery patterned shirt. And like platform wedges. I wanted it to kind of seem like she was wearing clothes her mother would have owned when she was younger. So obviously her mother wasn't wearing this like right before she, you know, died, but she would have been wearing it as a teen. And I think Wilda would continue to, out of like mourning, but in a way that is more productive than how she originally does, I guess. Yeah. As far as her hair goes, I did think about making her blonde or giving her pink hair, because in the story she has pink hair, but I felt like it looked a little bit unnatural, so I didn't do that. I actually felt really weird drawing her like this, because I'm so used to seeing her with her, what's it called when the teeth come up? Underbite? I'm so used to seeing her with her underbite and her big goblin ears. This just felt so wrong. I feel like the other two I could kind of like, I felt them in that drawing, but this one just didn't feel like Wilda. It felt so strange in my head. But yeah, it's fine. I ended up actually liking it. I considered making her clothes not super pink, because in the story, she doesn't necessarily like pink. It's just that her friend that makes clothes puts her in pink and she doesn't have money for other clothes, so that's what she wears. I'll also point out that in this version of events, she would be rich, because unlike in the original story, when her parents passed, she would have inherited all of their millions. I don't know how rich, but she's definitely rich. Yeah. I also just decided to do this little like you know, phases thing. For the college one, I actually had a lot of fun. I'm from New Zealand, and here a lot of our schools are uniform schools, and I feel like I see so many people on here and they'll draw characters in uniform, and it'll be like a public school and it'll be the fanciest uniform ever. It'll be a private school and it'll be just a normal uniform. So I tried to like make her seem pretty fancy with the Mary Janes and a blazer and a tie. That's, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, here's the result of that. I did end up putting them together with a background at the end, but just for clarity, I'm separating it like this.
Felu.
Okay, next of all is Philo. I love Philo. She's my my favorite of these designs. She also seems to be the favorite online, I think. I think she gets the most compliments. But yeah, I kept her like at a base mostly the same. She has her big braids, the same face basically. I did consider giving her the same piercings, like all her nose and face piercings. But I don't really think that she would have them in this world. Especially because I think she would have been at this orphanage for a long enough time, and I don't really know that that would be allowed. But anyways, the point is, in the story, she really, really wants to be a ballerina or a dancer. It's like her biggest dream, her biggest goal. And throughout Wilda trying to like get both of them out of their situation and save them, she just kind of wants to be a dancer. She doesn't aspire for anything bigger than that, really. And she doesn't really end up reaching that goal in the main story. So I decided in this one she gets to. She goes to ballet classes every single week. Wilda takes her and pays for them and buys her all of this ballet gear. Because, you know, Wilda is rich despite the fact she's wearing hand-me-downs. But yeah. I think she'd be super, super into maybe, I don't know if this is like gonna translate well, but on TikTok there's like the ballet core and coquette core and like all of that stuff. She'd be very into that and very into like having a very specific look to everything about her. And so I thought about giving her normal clothes because, you know, most ballerinas aren't just wearing ballet clothes all the time, but I feel like she'd kind of be into the look of like constantly looking like a ballerina and constantly being super in her zone. And so I did take a lot of inspiration from like it's really cringe. I looked up ballet core on Pinterest and I took a lot of inspiration from that. But I do feel like it's really cute. Also, I did the same old huge cartoony legs to show that she's younger, as I always do. I think in this world, she might be a little bit older than in Little Decay. I think like 14 or 15 instead of like 13. But I'm still not sure about that. When I was drawing this, I kind of had the age 14 in mind. But I guess those ages are also close to each other. The specifics probably really don't matter that much. Yeah. So that's Philo. I didn't do anything extra for her, unfortunately. Maybe I will, but I haven't quite thought out like her situation before the orphanage yet, so, you know.
Tula.
I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking, he's already a human. Why are you giving him a human design? That's so boring. I clicked on this video because I wanted to see goblins and fairies and mermaids turned into humans, and you're just putting a human into another human outfit. And you're right, I know this is kind of a boring pick, but I wasn't originally even going to do him. I originally chose Rydia. I'll put a photo of her on screen in case you don't know her for this video. But I ended up wanting to do him because I wanted to have a romance subplot to this alternate universe. And in the main story, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think he's gonna be the one that wins the love triangle. Or the love pyramid, I guess. I don't think he's gonna fill that position. He might, because I'm not 100% sure, but it's kind of looking like he won't. And so I wanted to give him this. I wanted to give him this world. I don't know, maybe in another world I'll put Amber, the other option, with Wilda, so they can be true equals in the main Little Decay story. As far as his actual design goes, I changed barely anything. He has the same haircut, the same scarf, his pants and jacket are the same color. His shirt is the same color, it's just buttoned up, because in this world he has to go to school. He can't just walk around like that, like a little freak. And obviously I gave him a little messenger bag. I think men's fashion is really boring, and so I didn't really have a lot to do with this. I did, however, I drew hair a little bit differently for this video. Because I realized with him in particular, I have this issue where I don't know how hair would fall for him properly. I don't know how to explain that, but like I'll draw hair that doesn't really make sense. And so for this video, I wanted to make it very clear where the strand of hair starts and ends. And I feel like it makes the hair look more real. I don't know, it looks less, I don't know, it just looks like it could happen in real life. I don't know what I'm saying. You get the point, you know? Yeah, I did also draw an extra little thing. That's why this video took way longer than it was supposed to. Originally, it was supposed to just be Wilda design, Philo design, and Rydia's design. But then I wanted to add him. And then I thought about also adding Rydia, but I decided not to. And then I added that little through time thing for Wilda. And then I added the drawing you're going to see next of him and Wilda. And then I did this other thing that was really stupid, which I'm not going to include in this video, but I considered doing, so it also pushed the video back. And so I'm sorry for that, but I hope it was all worth it, so that you could have a redesign of a human continuing to be human, just slightly different. Here's all of them together. Okay.
Bonus.
Yay! It's the bonus thing! It's the bonus thing! I'm sure this was so worth this video getting pushed back a full week. I have never been to university, so I don't really know what university classrooms look like. So this kind of just looks like a college classroom, but I feel like that's okay, because there's not a lot of room. From what I've seen of university classrooms, it's just a big stadium with a little professor in the middle, and that's actually kind of scary to me. And so I feel like there's a lot more room for this classroom to be cute than if it looked actually realistic to the university experience. I had so much fun thinking about like what kind of stationery they would bring to school. I tried to give Wilda like a lot of extra stuff, like you can see the fan and the gel pens and all that, and then for Tula it's literally just like binder and pencil case. I love doing things like that for my characters, like the what's in their bag type stuff. I also did write an actual like note sheet that they passed between each other, so if you want to see that, go to any other social media I have. That's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you want to get a commission from me, you can message me on Twitter or Instagram. Bye!